You're at the coffee shop.
Find out.
You're at the coffee shop, dude. What do you mean get out of your face?
You're gonna find out.
What are you talking? I'm trying to get my coffee, dude.
Get your coffee. You're gonna find out, my nigga.
Did you even order?
Don't worry about what I do.
You just walked.
You worry about the wrong shit, boy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Hey, you have a good day.
Fuck.
Trying to act like a
Fuck.
He's chimping out.
Fuck.
Chud the Builder finally went too far. And for the first time, all the internet trolling, all the rage bait, all the public confrontations, all the live stream chaos, it didn't end with somebody yelling back. It ended up with an attempted homicide charge. So now we have Chud is currently sitting in a Tennessee courthouse after a shooting. His bond has been denied not once, not twice, but multiple times. And the situation keeps getting worse. Now, who's Chud the Builder?
Popeyes or KFC? You just say it doesn't even ask, don't even matter what it is. KFC? Y'all don't like KFC?
If you've been under a rock, or maybe you actually have a job and you have a life outside the internet, you may be wondering, who is this guy? I was wondering the same thing for the longest time. I tried not to pay it any mind, but it just kept popping up across my timeline for weeks and weeks. Eventually, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a video about this. Now, if somehow you never heard of Chud the Builder, he's a streamer whose entire brand was basically getting reactions out of people, but a certain group of people.
Buddy, you walk up over here with a pistol, I'll blow your shit apart.
Yes, that's right, African Americans. So he became known online for confrontational live streams, offensive public interactions, and saying things specifically designed to make people angry. His catchphrase is chimping out. If you don't know, the word chimping out comes from some old internet nerdy phrase, maybe about 2+ years ago is when it first started. At least I first started hearing about it, but he made it like mainstream, like a real thing. Now, whether you liked him or hated him, his content was built around provoking reactions. It just is what it is, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. And eventually that lifestyle followed him into real life. A lot of people are happy. There's a few people who did actually try to support him, but a lot of people are happy that he's where he's at. So let's talk about the restaurant incident. Now, it was crazy that this courthouse situation wasn't even the first time he made headlines. So just days before the shooting, he was arrested in Nashville after allegedly refusing to pay a restaurant bill worth more than $370. You're like, wait, he's the builder, right? Shouldn't he have money? Apparently not. He's over here doing dine-in dashes. He's running up bills, tabs, $370, $400. What's going on? So police say he was live streaming inside a restaurant, causing disturbance, refusing to leave, and eventually got hit with charges including theft, disorderly contact, and resisting arrest. Now, at the time, people thought it was just another Chud controversy. Nobody expected what would happen a few days later. So let's talk about how he got arrested first before we go further into detail. So a few days after this dine and dash happened, he was at a courthouse, right? But why was he there? So on May 13th, things completely changed. Court records show Chud had a civil debt-related court appearance scheduled at the Montgomery County Courthouse in Clarksville, Tennessee. Perfect place to be racist, right? They say Indiana is where the KKK started, or where they got their headquarters. The South is where a lot of things happen. Tennessee, Alabama, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, authorities say he ended up in a confrontation with another man outside the courthouse. The exact confrontation is not 100% known at this particular moment, but what is known is the person served in the armed forces. I'm gonna have some respect, okay? You're racist, that's one thing, but to be racist to a veteran who served the country, come on. So according to investigators, that confrontation escalated into a physical altercation and gunshot erupted. Thankfully, both survived, but what's crazy about this whole story is you can now call him Cheddar Bob, right? No more the builder, call him Cheddar Bob, because he not only struck the victim, but he struck himself. That's right. He got so nervous with this altercation that he accidentally clipped himself. So investigation also ultimately arrested Chud and charged him with attempted attempted homicide, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and employing a firearm during a dangerous felony. So he was already on his way to court. He's near a government building, which is could potentially have charges on its own. I mean, they could really hit him with several charges. I mean, I know there's a charge of letting off firearm in public places, things like that. It's crazy because he was trying to argue self-defense, like, oh, this guy came at me. It's like, bruh, everybody sees you online provoking people. You're not like, what? Come on, what are we talking about? So authorities have said the fight started outside a courthouse packed with civilians and bystanders. So that's a huge reason why prosecutors came down on this case so hard.
Be clear as to what the First Amendment really is. It's a check on the government, and it's a check on the government to prohibit time, place, and manner of speech, right?
I also believe they're coming down on this case so hard because they want to make an example out of him. Because since him, there's been little mini guys. I don't want to give them credit. I'm not going to shout out their names, but people who are pretty much copying him. He's like the main guy, though. So if they make a big thing out of him, they don't got to worry about the other people. So I want to talk about next the internet reaction. So this is where things get ugly online. A lot of people immediately started connecting the shooting to the kind of content Chud had been making for a while. People were saying things like, oh, you can't spend years provoking people and then act shocked when people react. Somebody eventually was going to do something, right? So others argued he was defending himself. They're like, hey, freedom of speech. He can say whatever he wants, even if he provokes people. It can be offensive, it can be racist. Some people were actually supporting him. The internet basically split into two camps overnight. People who were like, yes, and people who were like, no. So he's been in custody since then. Now there have been multiple bonds being raised, and each one is getting denied. So there was a bond hearing initially set for $1.25 million, right? So the court specifically mentioned concerns about public safety, seriousness of allegations, prosecutors reporting wanting the court to look at additional factors before any reduction was considered. Now, video from the courtroom showed Chud looking visibly frustrated after hearing him out, especially because there were people who actually tried to get him out, and those people, to no avail, were able to assist him. So this is where things get interesting. Even though supporters started to try to help him out, including reports that a YouTuber named Alex Rosen, we need to put him on blast, offered $100,000 towards his bond, the court still refused to significantly lower it. So a Tennessee judge recently rejected efforts to reduce the bond, and Chud remains in bars to this day. So he's been locked up for a few weeks now. Now, at one point, the bond was adjusted from $1.5 million down to $1 million, and it sounds like a win. I mean, there was even a GoFundMe at one point for him, and the judge was like, hey, we're not going to use the GoFundMe. Reverse Uno, we're not going to let you use the GoFundMe to try to get this guy out. Surprise, surprise. So where does everything stand now? Well, as the latest court proceedings, he still remains in custody. The attempted murder charge has been bond over to a grand jury, so they're going to handle it. His bond remains extremely high. Prosecutors are continuing to push against this. There's multiple felonies that are still active. Usually when it comes to situations like people getting arrested, they'll throw out a bunch of charges and then ultimately try to get you to plead to one or two. So the fact that he got hit with a few charges doesn't mean that they're going to all add on top of each other. But only time will tell, right? I still think they're going to make an example out of this guy. So this isn't one of those situations where somebody gets arrested on Friday and they're back streaming Monday. Nah, this is it. I mean, he already got kicked off several platforms for what he's doing. So honestly, what makes this story bigger than Chud? Well, whether you support him or hate him, this situation raises a question that's becoming more common online. What happens when your content is built around confrontation? Right? We've seen it with a lot of people back in the day. Hampton Brandon, right? He was a famous guy who went viral and Ice Poseidon stream. But this guy's taking it to a new level. I mean, at what point does internet trolling stop and, being content and start to be real life? But I want to hear it from y'all. What do y'all think about this? What do you think is going to happen to him? Is he getting treated rightly? You support him, you don't support him, you're in between? Is he going to get hit with an actual attempt charge? What do y'all think?